LeBron's Sixers were supposed to be an NBA super team, but one savage warning just flipped the script. If this team fails, LeBron's final title gamble could collapse in spectacular fashion, and there will be nowhere to hide.
And obviously Philly being the top of mind when it comes to making a push for a championship run, right? Bron joins them, Jaylen Brown joins them. Obviously, they already had a nice little core going on in Philly as well. What are your expectations for that team?
Championship or bust. You know, you got the great LeBron. You got great Embiid, who was like 3-4 years ago, Charles and I would always say how he's the best big man. Joker has surpassed him. When beyond us making a name for himself. My question to Joel, does he want it back? And if he does, please show me. I know LeBron wants to get one last one. Jaylen is feeling slighted. Maxey is making a name for herself. It's definitely the team to watch. I want to hear next year, or, you know, we got to work together. This team was put together to win the championship now. And I think if they don't win the championship as players, I think all those players will be very, very disappointed. They have all the pieces they need.
Okay, so before we let you go, though, Shaq, want to make sure
But the real bombshell came next. This wasn't just a championship warning, it was a brutal prediction that could turn LeBron's Sixers gamble into a nightmare.
What I think Brian is doing here is that he's lowering the expectation. This what usually happens. Let me tell you guys what happens. Y'all know it, but let's just go through it. And every season, the LeBron media starts off with extreme, oh, LeBron going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, right? Then as time slowly goes on, reality begins to set in that it's not going to work out the way that they thought. And when it reaches that point, they then begin to identify who to blame. Is it going to be the coach? Is it going to be one of his teammates? And that's what's going to happen this year if things don't work out. We all know it. We all know that at one point or another this year, someone will stand up and say on TV, the Philadelphia 76ers don't have enough help, or they're too top heavy, or they don't have a bench. Just wait for it. And then guess what his fans are going to say? Come on, man. He's 42 years old. Come on, man. Every team in the NBA has depth. What do you expect them to do? Come on, man. What you want them to do? That's what's going to happen. But he spoke about it. And apparently, Brian Windhorst, who is a LeBron supporter and, you know, was up there with them twerking it up when the news first came out, is now saying that he's not sure that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be all that good. And he doesn't even think that they could win even over 50 games. I kid you not. I kid you not.
Dad, I'm just going to say, in the last 9 years, you know how many times LeBron's teams have gone over 50 and a half?
Last 9 years. That's interesting. How many?
Last 9?
So basically the Laker year and the last year in Cleveland, Laker tenure in the last year in Cleveland.
What, once?
Twice.
No.
Once was 52.
Wow.
Now, you know, the COVID years, they were shortened, but even if you go out the percentages. So, you know, LeBron hasn't been on powerhouse regular season teams for a while now. Again, he is making the minimum. He is not going to necessarily be the driving force night in and night out that he has been. And I agree with your sentiment, McMahon.
Wait, they won 53 last year.
Yeah, he could go back farther.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's only the second time.
Wow.
I'll just say that I think they can be an excellent team and very formidable and win 48 games. Because I think 48 wins in the Eastern Conference is going to be a great season this year. So I'm going to go under. I think it's just a safe, because you don't know about Embiid, and you don't know about health and all the other stuff. I think it's just safe to go under. I think probably going under on the Sixers has probably been a profitable position, frankly. But I don't say it controversially. I just think you know, and not only that, like LeBron's teams, when he's changed teams, they've tended to get off to slower starts. When he went to Miami, they started 9-8. They obviously ended up fine, but you know, when they went back to Cleveland, they started 19-20. When he went to the Lakers, I mean, again, I don't want to make it sound like all of these are all equal, because I know this is a different situation, but went to the Lakers, they missed the playoffs the first year. So, learning to play with LeBron takes a while.
This is a season that I am really looking forward to. I haven't looked forward to a season this much in a while. Obviously, I'm looking to see how them hooligans over there in San Antonio going to do with the, Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. I'm going to see what the Knicks are going to do this year as well. Curious about that. I want to see how well the Lakers perform. Absolutely. But, man, I can't wait to see this one right here. LeBron fans, man. Yo, this dude better not lose, man. This dude better not lose, bro. It's going to be a rough outing for y'all, man. If this team turns into an ass team, bro, it's a wrap for y'all. Y'all getting blasted, bro. Like it's not going to be it's going to be bad for y'all, man. So there's a lot to look forward to.
LeBron James didn't come to Philadelphia for a comfortable ending. He came for one more championship. With LeBron, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, and Tyrese Maxey, the Sixers suddenly look like a team that should be thinking about June, not just April. But that's exactly why the warning is so brutal. If this roster fails, there will be nowhere to hide. The expectations are already enormous, championship or bust. And when you look at the talent, it's easy to understand why the pressure has become almost unbearable. You've got LeBron entering his 24th NBA season, chasing one final ring. You've got Embiid, once widely regarded as the best big man in basketball, now facing the rise of Nikola Jokic and Victor Wembanyama. Then there's Jaylen Brown, a proven championship-level star who has every reason to feel motivated after his shocking move to Philadelphia. And Maxey is no longer just the young guy beside the stars. He's becoming a star himself. So what excuse is left? This team was built to win now. If they don't win the championship, every one of these players should be deeply disappointed. But now comes the part that could completely change the narrative. One of the most controversial arguments is that the expectations around LeBron are already being lowered. Because we've seen this movie before. First comes the hype. LeBron is going to dominate. Then the season gets difficult. Suddenly, it's the coach. Then it's the teammates. Then it's the bench. Then it's injuries. And eventually, someone says, LeBron is 42. What do you expect him to do? That's the escape route critics are warning about. Because if Philadelphia struggles, people may start explaining why the roster wasn't actually good enough in the first place. And nothing exposes that argument faster than one number: 50 wins. The prediction is stunning. The Sixers might not even win 50 games. Remember, Philadelphia went 45-37 last season. And LeBron's recent teams haven't consistently dominated the regular season either. In the last 9 seasons discussed, his teams have only reached the 50-win mark a very limited number of times. So yes, Philadelphia could be excellent. But 48 wins? That's the kind of number some analysts believe could be realistic. And honestly, the biggest question isn't even LeBron. It's Embiid. Because if Embiid's health becomes a problem, this entire Superteam calculation changes instantly. And there's another problem. LeBron teams don't always figure everything out immediately. When LeBron went to Miami, they started 9-8. When he returned to Cleveland, they started 19-20. And when he joined the Lakers, Los Angeles missed the playoffs in his first season. Those situations aren't identical to Philadelphia. But the lesson is important. Talent doesn't automatically create chemistry. LeBron has to learn Embiid. Embiid has to learn LeBron. Brown has to adjust. Maxey has to adjust. And everyone has to accept that somebody's numbers may drop. That's the price of building a team this talented. And that's why this may become one of the most fascinating pressure tests of LeBron's career. LeBron already has 4 championships, 4 MVPs, 4 Finals MVPs,
the all-time scoring record. At this point, there's only one major question left.
Can he win one more?
Philadelphia hasn't won a championship since 1983. That drought alone creates pressure. Now add LeBron, add Embiid, add Brown, add Maxey.
Suddenly, anything short of a deep playoff run is going to feel like failure. And if this team becomes mediocre,
The criticism will be vicious because nobody will accept they just weren't good enough.
not with this much talent. And that's why this Sixers experiment could either become legendary or completely explode. Maybe the skeptics are wrong. Maybe LeBron, Embiid, Brown, and Maxey finally click. Maybe 48 wins is enough. Maybe LeBron saves everything for the playoffs. Maybe Philadelphia becomes the team nobody wants to face in May. But if it doesn't work, the blame game will begin immediately. And this time, the excuses will be much harder to sell. Because this isn't a rebuilding team. This isn't a young roster waiting for its moment. This is a team assembled to win right now. So buckle up. Because if the Sixers win, LeBron's final gamble could become one of the greatest endings imaginable. But if they collapse, the Superteam label could become the biggest weapon used against them. And LeBron's final championship chase will suddenly look a lot more dangerous than anyone expected.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.